What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Aftersound here, bringing you Splinterlands content every single day. We also stream right here in this channel every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday morning, so come by and say hello. All right, guys. Well, we have hit a new all-time low for SPS. Just sharing with you the charts here on CoinGecko, and you can see that the all-time low has now been set on September 21st, 2023, about an hour ago. So we're at 1.53 cents. I wouldn't be surprised. If this goes a little bit lower, we still have a little bit more time before the end of September. But keep in mind, SPS is pretty much no longer correlated with Bitcoin and the rest of the market. Yes, sometimes there's a slight correlation. We go up when Bitcoin goes up. We go down when Bitcoin goes down. But for the most part, SPS is just kind of on its own. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this for you guys. At the beginning of the year, had you bought Bitcoin versus buying SPS, you'd have roughly the same amount of money, or maybe a little bit more, versus SPS has just completely gone down on the year to date, right? So if we look at like the 1 year max, I mean, this thing is just falling. So I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I don't know where this ends. I don't know where the bleeding necessarily stops, but it's very clear to see that more people like selling SPS than more people like buying. Now, that being said, I do want to cover what I think is a silver lining. And I'm using that term specifically, silver lining, because this is a garbage situation. And at the end of the day, I'm just trying to see what is coming, what would be some of the benefits of this happening right now. So obviously we have Land 1.5 hopefully around the corner before the end of 2023. We also have Rebellion around the corner, end of 2023. At least that is what the team is saying right now. Again, there could always be delays on all this stuff, but we seem relatively close, and I would say that a little bit over 3 months, I think we can get both of those things, which should be massive DEC sinks in many ways. So the benefit of this, right? Like the silver lining is the fact that we will potentially burn a lot more SPS the lower SPS is for DEC, right? So if SPS is at a penny, we're burning 100 SPS in order to get that 1,000 DEC, right? As opposed to SPS being at like 10 cents, where we'd only burn 10 SPS tokens. So you can see we are overrun with the amount of SPS that is currently in circulation. We're still getting, I've heard mixed reports now, so I don't want to just say a million, although I think it still is, somewhere in that range, somewhere between like 600,000 to a million SPS being given out every day, right? So the dilution is still happening at a crazy level here. But what I'm trying to say with the whole, what I'm trying to say with the whole silver lining thing is, with Land right around the corner, potentially eating up several billion DEC, and then Rebellion doing the same, we could see, DEC get to peg sometime over the next 3 months. And more importantly, even if DEC doesn't necessarily stay at peg or go above peg, people may just start burning SPS in order to just avoid the marketplace entirely. Now, here's the thing. People love selling SPS more than they like buying it, right? That is a excuse me, that is a fact, okay? Because if people liked buying SPS more than they liked selling it, the price would be going up. So very simple fact, more people are selling SPS than they are buying SPS. The main reason for that is because we're getting so much SPS from the game through all the different rewards, ranked rewards, ranked play, brawls, LPs, you name it, right? It's all just coming out at a rate of anywhere between 600,000 to a million tokens per day. So when you think about the fact that people will continue to sell, and now there is no longer a reason to buy, right? And I would make the argument here that even for myself, whenever I need DEC, am I going to go out and buy SPS? Probably not. I have a lot of faucets turned on with the game, with LPs, with node licenses, that I probably still won't buy SPS. So I can see the price of SPS continuing to drop. And even with Land 1.5, even with Rebellion, I will say that most of the people who are participating in each of these things, right, or in both of these major releases that are coming up, they're probably not going to go out and buy a bunch of SPS either. Not enough to move the price. So excuse me. Going back to my silver lining part of this, the lower SPS goes, the more we end up burning. So, for example, if and when I need SPS, I don't plan on going out and buying SPS with fiat or with other crypto, right? For me, I'm just going to take part of the stack that I have, and I know people will probably feel differently about this, but it's like the money's being printed every day for free, right? So why wouldn't I take some of the money that's being printed, use it to get DEC rather than putting more capital in? And I know that's not what we want long term, right? Long term, we want people coming in to play and bring more capital into the system, have a higher, well, we'll call it higher demand on SPS. But what I'm trying to say is that in the meantime, until that happens, and I do generally believe that will happen, whether it's because Splinterlands can have a green candle in a sea of red sometime between now and the end of the year, or if we just have to wait around until the next bull run and people come around speculating, I do believe that it's going to happen at some point. But like I said, in the meantime, I wouldn't be surprised to see things continue to go down. And even after land comes out, this is why I'm putting this out, right? Because even after land comes out, I can still see SPS struggling if you have a lot of the SPS whales, dolphins, minnows, whatever you want to call it, that don't want to buy more stuff, but they just want to use whatever assets, right? This ecosystem, if you look at like the market cap, for example, we don't have the full market cap here, but the market cap has just been trending downwards for however long, but we keep adding assets in and people keep shifting around where that value is, right? Whether it goes to cards or whether it goes to node licenses or whether it goes to different packs or sets. So we'll continue to see that happen over time. And once again, I wouldn't be surprised to see people dropping their SPS or burning their SPS in order to participate in land once DEC is out, in order to participate in Rebellion once that is out. Now, we may hit a critical point, right? We may hit a critical point at which all of a sudden we see that, major green candle that happens for SPS. And again, this is not a price prediction. This is not me trying to hype anything up, but at some point, there will be demand for SPS. We will bottom out in terms of the amount that people want to hold for their SPS long term versus how much they want to sell or burn. At that point, we could start to see SPS rise. At that point, if SPS starts to rise, we get into that life cycle of potentially more people coming to check out the game, staking some SPS in order to earn within the game, right? And then, of course, this is the biggest part, right? Not selling their earnings, but potentially burning their earnings, and then, of course, going out and buying more SPS in order to participate in other areas. But I just want people to. This is a rough time, right? Rough time in the Splinterlands ecosystem. Crypto maybe not overall, because Bitcoin has actually held steadily in September. I'm surprised that it's done so well. But Splinterlands overall, we've just been in a waiting pattern for the last 6 months or so. And so even with these upcoming catalysts, don't get me wrong, I'm excited. I think that it could do a lot for the game economy. I just want to prime everybody just to say that it may not happen right away. So when land launches and all of a sudden, we see this massive rush for DEC, like I said, I can see DEC quickly rising up back to peg because we saw that with land 1.5. Now we didn't necessarily, sorry, not 1.5, but 1.0. Now we didn't necessarily see that with SPS, but again, they're very closely correlated and tied together that I can see it happening at some point once we reach the critical point, I guess the inflection point for DEC. Where that ends up happening, I don't know. I've given you my more realistic or bullish takes, saying that we have, 4.6 billion DEC in circulation. At least on Hive. There's still even more on the other chains that could be coming in, but there's 4.6 billion DEC. We have about, I want to say 1.8 billion tied up in liquidity pools, tied up in bridges. So, there's still almost 3 billion, right? Almost 3 billion that's just sitting out there, and 3 billion DEC covers about 40% utility on land. And that's why I'm saying land is it's going to help us get there, but it may not be the end all be all to really get the flywheel started. That's why I'm more excited for Rebellion. But I'm getting into other topics now. I wanted to mainly focus on SPS, call out the fact that we have hit a new all-time low, And yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see it improving right away. Again, not trying to be a bear here, just trying to be realistic because I am bullish still on SPS long term, but just trying to give you the full context as to why we are where we are and why I think we may continue to see downward pressure even after some of the more exciting things happen within the space, right? So whether land launches next week or whether land launches next year, this stuff is going to happen, but it's still going to take some time in order for us to continue eating through all of the excess inventory when it comes to DEC, and then all of the excess supply when it comes to SPS and getting people to actually buy SPS rather than just get it for free. So that's all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Otherwise, I will catch you all in the next video and see you around the game. Take care.